Your heart stops. The room goes quiet. On the monitor, the line goes flat. To everyone in the room, you are gone. The clock starts. Nothing should happen now. But inside your skull, in the dark, your brain does the one thing it saved for this exact moment. It does not switch off. For a few minutes, it lights up more than it ever has in your entire life. A burst of activity science was never supposed to be able to record. Until, by accident, it did. This is the last thing your brain will ever do. And almost no one who has done it came back to describe it. Here is what we know is waiting for you. For most of medical history, death was treated as a switch. Heart stops, oxygen stops, the brain goes dark in seconds. No one could prove otherwise, because you cannot plan to record a brain at the exact moment it dies. Then, in 2022, it happened by accident. An 87-year-old man was in hospital with epilepsy. Doctors had wired his brain to track seizures. While the machine was still recording, he had a heart attack and died. For the first time ever, a human brain was captured in the act of dying. 30 seconds before the heart stopped and 30 seconds after. The scientists expected to see the brain fade to nothing. Instead, they saw a storm. The same brain waves you use for memory, for dreaming, for your deepest concentration, surged all at once. And that storm has a pattern. To understand it, follow the minutes. Minute 0. Your heart stops pushing blood. The monitor flatlines. Your brain is the most expensive organ you own. It is 2% of your weight and burns 20% of your fuel. It has no way to store that fuel. The moment the blood stops, the countdown begins. For about 10 seconds, you are still, in every sense, conscious. The lights are on. You may still be aware of the room. This is the window survivors of cardiac arrest describe. Hearing the doctors, watching from above, feeling calm, not fear. Then the oxygen runs out, and the brain does something desperate and strange. Starved of fuel, the cells fire one last coordinated surge. A flood of gamma waves, the signature of intense, vivid experience. In a rat study in 2013, scientists saw the same thing. After the heart stopped, the dying brain became more connected than in waking life. More connected in death than in life. That is the part that stops researchers cold. Whatever that surge is, it is not a brain shutting down. It is a brain doing something with everything it has left. And what it seems to be doing is telling you a story. One last one. The people who have seen it almost never agree on the details, except for one. Across thousands of near-death reports, the same shapes repeat. A tunnel and a light at the end that does not hurt to look at. A replay. Your life, not in order, but all at once. Moments you had completely forgotten, returned in full. A feeling survivors struggle to translate. They call it realer than real. More vivid than waking life has ever been. No pain, no panic. Most describe a deep, almost unbearable calm. In 2023, researchers recorded 2 more dying human brains. Same surge. In the regions tied to dreaming and memory. This is the biological fingerprint of the life review. Not a soul leaving, a brain reading itself at maximum volume one final time. Patients in a major resuscitation study reported clear, structured awareness during CPR when their brains should have been silent. Some recalled real details from the room, things they had no way to see. Science cannot fully explain that yet, but it can no longer call the dying brain empty, which forces a darker, stranger question about what this experience is for. Here is where almost everyone gets it wrong. Most people hear tunnel and light and calm and decide it is proof of what comes after, a door opening. But that is not what the recordings show. The truth is stranger, and it stays inside your own head. Death is not a single moment, it is a process with stages that can last minutes after the line goes flat. And the light, the calm, the replay, all carry the exact signature of your brain generating experience. the most powerful one it has ever generated. Your brain spends your whole life building one thing, a story of you, stitched from memory, narrated without pause. When the body finally fails, it appears to run that story one last time, at an intensity no living moment ever reaches. Not because anyone is watching, because telling your story is the last thing your brain knows how to do. The most vivid experience of your entire life may be the one you have on the way out of it, and the one you will never remember. And here is the part almost nobody says. That final surge may not be a goodbye. It may be a fight. Some researchers think the dying brain floods itself on purpose, a last, automatic attempt to save itself, to force a path back to consciousness. The same machinery that gives you the calm and the light may simply be your brain refusing to go quietly, which means the experience is not designed for you. You are not its audience. You are just the place it happens. Evolution never built a way to remember your own death. There was never any reason to. So you will live the single most intense moment of your existence and carry exactly none of it. It happens in a room you cannot reach, to a version of you that ends the instant it finishes. Every person who has ever lived has this waiting for them. And it is the one experience none of us can prepare for, which changes how you might look at the part you can remember, the part before. If your brain saves its most vivid broadcast for the very end, then everything before it, this ordinary Tuesday, this video, this breath, is the raw footage it is collecting. Every face you really look at, every moment you are fully inside instead of half watching. That is what gets written in. The life review is not random. Survivors say it returns the moments they were most present for, which means the question is not what happens when you die. It is how much of your life you are actually awake for, while it is still being recorded. Because the brain can only replay what you let it record. And most of a life is spent somewhere else. You don't get to choose your last broadcast, but you are filming it right now. So go back to the room. Your heart has stopped. The line is flat. In the dark, your brain lights up one final time, brighter than it ever has, and quietly plays you the only story it ever truly cared about. Yours. No tunnel to anywhere. No audience, just the most honest, vivid replay of a single life, watched by no one, remembered by no one. The fall was never out of your body. It was always deeper into it. Death is not the lights going out. It is the brain turning them all the way up, one last time, and then letting go. You will not remember it, but you are writing it, frame by frame, today. So here is the only question that matters. If your brain is recording right now for a film you will never get to watch, what are you putting in it today? Tell me below.